Our presenter tonight is none other than our own Alan Tutt, who has served in many capacities within the Coptic Fellowship organization over the years, including photographer, videographer, conference presenter, conference organizer, master of ceremonies, tech support, marketing, and he is a regular source of inspiration and thought-provoking ideas. For more than 22 years, Alan has taught the principles of manifestation, and through a series of books, which are now available on Amazon, and audio programs and live programs. Two of his books are available on Amazon. One is Choosing to Believe, A Practical Guide to Living Your Dreams, and the other is Harmonic Prayer, How to Instantly Increase Your Prayer Power. In 2019, he taught a business course at the Coptic Center that was called Changing Lives for Fun and Profit. And isn't that what it's all about? In tonight's presentation, Alan will show us how we can have more impact in the world by manifesting the good life for all, including ourselves. Alan, I know, is a master manifester. He walks his talk. During this presentation, you'll discover how you can be more effective at helping the people around you in a way that is mutually beneficial for all, including ourselves. Let's welcome Alan as he presents Manifesting the Good Life for All, including ourselves. Alan Tutt.
Okay, so now that I can see your faces, I can interact, I can respond, I can see how things are landing and adjust if need be. So one of the most important things in anything is to have fun. And that's why, as Janice said, the name of that business course from 2019 is Changing Lives for Fun and Profit. Because if we're not having fun, then what the hell are we doing here? And so life is meant to be enjoyed, but it's also meant to be of service. That's one of the key messages of the Coptic Fellowship, to be of service to our fellow human being, to be of service to mankind, to be of service to the world. That's why the first master course in the series was the World Service Order, because each of us, each and every one of us, has the capability to be of service to others. And there's so many different ways that we can be of service to others. We can be of service just simply by greeting people with a smile. We can be of service by listening when they have something to say. We can be of service to offer our opinions, to offer our advice, to offer the benefit of the many years of experience that we've had throughout the time that we've been here. There are so many different ways that we can be of service to the world. And I believe that life can be, and I'm not going to say it has to be, but it can be considered a system of value exchange. I give you value, you give me value. You give me some value, I give you some value. Again, going back to the very basics, if we're meeting each other on the street and I smile at you, I'm giving you a little bit of value. Not a lot, but a little bit. You smile back at me and you're giving me some value. And that lifts my spirits, that lifts my mood. And by lifting my mood, you've done something valuable for me. If we're talking to each other and I share some experience with you, and then you share a bit of insight from your experience, you're helping me expand my view of the world. You're helping me see the world in a new way. That adds value to me. And so there are so many different ways that we can create and exchange value. And it's all in the realm of service. And so this idea of manifesting the good life, Now, there's many different ways to think about what is the good life. The good life for one person might be fancy cars, fancy houses, lots of nice clothing, and all that kind of stuff. And that's the good life for this person. For somebody else, the good life is a nice, quiet life where they can sit and just be with the people they enjoy being with. And that is the good life for this other person. For someone else, the good life is having the freedom to do whatever they want to do whenever they want to do it. And it's like if they want to just drop everything and go off on a trip for a week or two, that is what they consider the good life. And so in this topic, in this discussion, you have to decide for yourself, what is the good life for you? Is it having things? Is it being able to do certain things? Is it knowing that you have helped other people in some way? So you have to decide for yourself, what is the good life for you? And then the question becomes, how do you manifest that? And then to get into this larger discussion that we're talking about here, how do we manifest the good life, not only for yourself, but for other people as well? And this gets into one of the key ideas that I've been playing with for the last couple of years, because I have been teaching manifesting, as Janice says, for about 22 years. And it's all been focused on, what do you want for yourself? And that could be an experience that you have with another person, such as a relationship, or the fact that, okay, I have this friend who's struggling. I want to see them happy. And so you manifest happiness for them because that makes you happy. That makes you feel good. And so for 22 years, my focus has been on manifesting what you want for yourself. But now I'm looking at it from a little bit higher perspective. It's like, well, how can we expand on this? How can we manifest not only for ourselves, but for everyone? How can we help other people get what they want and be an instrument, a catalyst for making that happen? Now, with manifesting, there's a lot of different ways to approach that. And as I will often say, there's two general types of manifesting. There's physical manifesting and there's metaphysical manifesting. And the example that I typically use for physical manifesting is, if you're hungry, you can manifest a solution to that by going into the kitchen, fixing yourself a sandwich and eating it. And that manifests a solution to that hunger. And that's physical manifesting. Metaphysical manifesting is where you sit down, you get quiet, you connect with that divine essence within, and you open up that channel to that other world, and you communicate what you want through that channel so that it is picked up by the divine, and then the divine makes things happen for you. This is the only way that I'm able to manifest specific types of weather from time to time, and I'm sure some of you have also done that. I know I'm not the only one who does that. I've talked to many different people who do the same thing. This is the type of manifesting that led to Linda and I getting together. Good grief, how long has that been? It's been about 27 years. So it was December of 1997 that we got together, and it was through sitting down, getting quiet, connecting with the divine, and then imagining all the different things that I wanted in a relationship, and then following my intuition until I met the right person. So that's metaphysical manifesting. Manifesting on the higher level that we're talking about right now, that I've been exploring over the last 2 years, has to be a combination of the two. It's not just one or the other. It's a combination of the two. As an example, if I just simply did metaphysical manifesting right now to communicate these ideas to you, are you getting it? Not as well as if I actually say the words out loud, right? So a combination of both physical and metaphysical manifesting is ideal for manifesting a much larger goal, a much larger vision. And one of the ways that I have seen for myself to help facilitate this larger manifestation is to shift the direction of my business so that I'm no longer focused solely on creating courses and audio programs to help people manifest things themselves. But I'm also expanding into this realm of working with people who have a desire to have their own business so that they can help other people in whatever way that makes sense for them, so that they can be of service to other people and affect lives beyond their own. So if I focus on helping you help other people, then it's a geometric progression. And so whatever impact I can have on you, that can then help you have a more greater impact on other people, then I, being the start of that point, can have a greater impact on the world. So the question that I will bring to you at this point, and this has got to be the starting point of everything, is what do you enjoy doing? Do you enjoy sitting and reading? Do you enjoy watching movies? Do you enjoy talking with other people? Do you enjoy working alone? Do you enjoy working in groups? Would you enjoy standing in front of a large audience and delivering a presentation? There's no right or wrong answer in any of this. But when you can get clear on what do you enjoy doing, and you mix that with what are you good at, what experience or information that you might have that can be a benefit to other people. Now, in that class that I did in 2019, we spent a whole afternoon. We spent 3 hours talking about what each person in the group was good at and what they enjoy, what was their core personality, their authentic self. Because if you're going to form a business, or if you're going to go about the business of life effectively, you want to start with who are you on an authentic level. Because when you are being authentic to yourself, everything is easier. And you can be much more effective at whatever you do by starting there. Now, we don't have 3 hours to go through that whole thing, so I'm going to shortcut the process here a little bit and let you know that once you have identified your core authentic personality, and I believe that most of you were at the conference in March, so that was all about discovering your authentic self. So I'm going to take it on faith that you have at least some idea of what types of things you enjoy doing. The next question is, what are you good at? What do other people ask you about or compliment you on? Especially if you feel like, oh, well, that's nothing. One of the things that I have discovered over, let's say, the last 20 years is that there are a number of things that I've done that I think, well, that's nothing. That's just throwing something together. As an example, just cooking in the kitchen, fixing dinner. I like to eat, so every once in a while I kind of have to fix a meal. Linda prefers when I do the cooking because she doesn't have to, so I get that task quite often. And I'll start out with like a basic box meal. Like, well, let's not even get into details. Basic box meal or a basic recipe. And I'll look at that recipe and I'll say, okay, this is what they're suggesting. okay, I'm going to do this a little different. I'm going to do that a little different. I'm going to add some of this into it as well. It's kind of like spaghetti sauce, just as an example. It's like, okay, we buy a jar of spaghetti sauce. We're making spaghetti. I'll throw the sauce in the pan, and then I'll start grabbing a few spices. It's like, okay, well, it's good, but I can make it a little bit better. And so far, there's only been 1 or 2 experiments in the kitchen that Linda didn't like. There's been a lot of things that she did like. In fact, those of you who know her and have talked with her on certain things, you may be able to get her to talk about the famous tuna casserole, which started out as one of those experiments. It's like, I'd like to make it this way. I think she would like it something else. Let's see what we can do. And right in the moment, I created something brand new that she absolutely adored. To me, that was simple. To me, that was nothing. That was just being creative in the kitchen. But I found that not everyone feels as comfortable doing that as I do. And so that happens to be one of the small gifts that I have. I can guarantee without any doubt whatsoever that each and every one of you has some gift, something that you do that other people really enjoy. Now, it may be something like the tuna casserole, where it's not going to be the basis of a business, but it's something that I can bring every once in a while to a potluck and everyone likes. I can bring my own special deviled eggs. A lot of people like those. I make up ice cream from time to time, very simple, but a lot of people like that too. So there's different things that you can do that can be of value to another person. And let me give you a hint on this one. Because you are here, because you are involved with the Coptics, because you are interested in learning and hearing new ideas and seeing things from a new perspective, and this is not the first time you've done this. You have collected so much information over the years that's all locked inside. And if you give yourself permission to trust the intuition that can manage all of that details and all of its complexity to come up with something of your own, and we're going to leave that nebulous for right now because that could take many different forms. If you trust the wisdom that you have gained over the years, you have so much value in your experiences. You can tell stories, you can give advice, you might even be able to help someone figure out how to do certain things that may have taken you weeks or months or years to figure out how to do. And because of that experience, because of that knowledge, because of that wisdom, you can save people time in getting a particular result that they would like to get. Here again, as an example, as I expand my business from just teaching manifestation to helping other people develop their businesses, I can shortcut that process of setting up a new business and defining what direction a person needs to go, what types of products or services that they can offer, how to set up a website and do marketing and all of that kind of stuff. I spent over 20 years figuring all that stuff out. Someone starting brand new would probably take at least a few years to figure out most of it to get something that really works well. Or I can shortcut that process for them, get them into something that works really quickly, and save them a whole lot of time. And time is, for most of us, the most valuable thing that we have, because we only have so much time. Now, even if we live to 200 or 300 or 400, there will come a time when this life ends. And so that time is limited. being able to save another person time in their life can be one of those things that you can do to really help add value to their experience. And it may be just as simple as, oh, you really shouldn't do it that way. It's just going to be a mess. You really should do it this way instead. Simple little advice could save someone weeks of heartache. So I'd like to have you think about the things that you already know how to do, the stories that you've had, the stories that you can tell and share with other people. And sometimes just telling the story is enough, especially if you know how to tell the story so that it has the right impact on your listener, on your audience. Because there's a lot of different ways to tell the same story. Before we started the session tonight, I was telling a little bit of the story of what's been happening for me over the last couple of weeks with our cat Wolfie, and I'm not going to repeat much of it here. In fact, I'm not going to repeat any of the actual story here, but let's just say that I could tell the exact same story using the exact same words and produce two completely different results in the listener. In the story, there's a lot of ups and downs, ups and downs. I've described it as a roller coaster ride. If I tell the story one way, I can talk about the ups as, yeah, and then this happened, and then I can tell the downs with a lot of enthusiasm, with a lot of energy, and it's like, oh my goodness, this happened, and talk about things in that negative way. If I put more emphasis on the negative, then someone comes away with, oh, you've had a really traumatic experience. And yet if I tell the exact same story and maybe tweak a few words here and there and put the emphasis on the positive side, it's like, yeah, this happened, but wow, this really came out of it. This really turned things around. Tell the story one way, someone gets a very negative feeling from it. Tell the story a different way, someone gets a very positive feeling from it. So there's different ways that we can tell a story that will have a completely different impact on our audience. Okay, so let me try to wrangle this together. Because what I really want to communicate to you tonight is that you have so much value to share with the world. You have everything you need to be of service to others. And the only thing that I could help you with is to make that much more effective or to do it more efficiently. And that's something that we could talk about at a different time. This is not the time and place to do that. But I want you to know that you have so much value to share with the world. And as you share your value with the world, you are helping other people improve their life. You are helping other people experience the good life in their terms. And if you are the type of person that feels like the good life is knowing that you have been of service to others, then in helping other people experience the good life for themselves, then you are already in that same process experiencing the good life for yourself. But there is something more that I want to include with that. And that is, people often value things according to the investment that they have in them. And what I mean by that is free advice is usually ignored. Advice that someone pays for is at least considered. And there are different ways that people can pay for things. It's not always just with money. It could be a thing where, let's say there's a family gathering and your gift is telling stories. And people ask you for a story. It's like, okay, yeah, I can tell that story. Can you rub my feet while I'm doing that? Get something in return. Make it an exchange of value. Because when people are giving of themselves, giving their energy, giving their money, if that's what it is in a business context, when people are investing in the experience, they are more invested in the experience, and they will get more out of the experience. One of the examples that I absolutely love is Homes for Humanity. They will do whatever they can to help people who are not well off financially to be able to get into a home, but they will not just give it to them. The person receiving the home has to work in the process of building that home. They have to invest their time, their labor, their effort into making that home happen. And I think that is a great example for all of us to follow. When we are wanting to do something good for somebody else, let's say we know a neighbor that they're doing, they're having a rough time. They're doing everything they can. They're just not getting through. They're scraping by. You feel like taking a meal over to them or giving them a bag of groceries or something. Have them do something for you in exchange for that. Maybe it's trimming the bushes around your property. Maybe it's mowing your lawn. Maybe it's coming in to clean the bathroom or some other room in the house. Just get them to exchange something for that. And the reason I say this, having been in the position of receiving charity from others, I can tell you that if someone gives me something without asking for anything in return, there's a sense of reduction within me that, okay, I'm not good enough to do this on my own. I'm accepting the charity because I need it, but something inside me is lacking. If someone says, you know what, I see that you can offer this, tell you what, I will loan this to you for now, but in payment, I want you to do this instead. And anytime I've had someone do that to me, and it's been rare, but anytime someone did do that, it's like, I can do this. I can be of value. I can earn what I'm getting. And that feeling of earning what I'm getting builds me up. And I think we all respond the same way. When we exchange one value for another, we feel that the value received was earned. And when we've earned the things that we have received, there's a sense of pride that comes with that. Whereas if we're given something without any expectation whatsoever, without any cost or investment whatsoever, it somehow reduces our self-worth. And so that's why it's absolutely necessary that whenever you do something for another person, you get some form of an exchange from them. It's not just for you, it's for them as well. And especially if you are looking to start a business, that's how you stay in business. If you are promoting yourself as an energy healer, if you are promoting yourself as a psychic clairvoyant or a reader of some kind, get payment for the services rendered, because that means the other person will pay more close attention to the advice you give them and will actually expect to receive and be even more open to receive the energy from that healing when it is something that they have paid for, when they have earned it, whether it's through money or through some other work. So that was the big thing that I wanted to give you tonight. Before we got started, I did look at the email and I remembered that I was going to offer a free gift. And as we mentioned here, one of the most valuable things that we have is time. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to paste a link into the chat, which is a link to book a half-hour session with me. You will get a half hour of my time in which we can discuss how you can form a more structured approach around the service that you offer to others. And right now, I don't care whether it's a business or not a business. If you are looking for what is my gift, what is the thing that I can offer others that is of value, if you need clarification on that, let's sit down and let's talk. The session can be over phone, the session can be over Zoom, whichever way you prefer. Let's sit down, let's talk, let's find what your gift is, what you have to offer the world that can be the basis for the service that you can use to manifest the good life for yourself and for others. And with that, I think it's time to open the floor to questions and commentary. And I'm curious to see what ideas have sparked for you. So let's have everyone unmute. I will take off the spotlight and let's have a conversation.
Well, Ellen, when you were talking about gifts, and I think being of service, one thing that John Davis did every time we would go out to eat is he would compliment the server. And that happened every single time. But every single server was just enamored by that. It's just, so that's one thing that I've incorporated into my life. In fact, a friend and I had stopped at a place and there was a server. I mean, there was a person who probably had some challenges and he cleaned tables. And I was just watching him and he was very efficient. So I went over to him and I went, I just want to let you know how good a job you do at this and how important it is. I'll tell you, a smile never left his face. So my friend said, I really like when you do that. So now when we go out, she does it. So I think we should start a Ponzi scheme right here. We can call it a joy pyramid scheme, where if we do something and it's like paying it forward, somebody else is going to do that too. So we can be the start of it.
I love it. A joy Ponzi scheme. Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm all in.
That reminds me, Laura Joy, I wish she was here tonight to tell you what she does. She shared with me this week because she's going to the gym, the same gym I do. And so we've had a chance to chat more and more. And she sits on her elliptical machine and she sees people coming in the front door, joy bubbles. You know, just a mental telepathy joy bubble. And so it can be a silent thing that we do for others, or it can be verbal. I happen to have a little card that I carry in my wallet. And it, you know, when I come across a person that really is, like Janice has done something outstanding or has impressed me, I leave that card on the table. And it basically says, you are appreciated and your work is appreciated and keep up the good work, that sort of thing. So,
Yeah, sounds great.
you know.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And I do agree that, yes, we can be of service on a completely metaphysical level, like you were saying, but if we really want to amplify and be more effective at it, add a physical component to it as well. And it can be just as simple as, I really appreciate your energy. I am visualizing you attracting many blessings to you, and I just wish you well on your journey. Whatever is appropriate for the situation. It really depends on what the situation is. But by offering some physical words with the mental imagery, you can make it much more effective.
Mm.
And something else, it's that, workers have name bags, badges. So when you're able to call somebody, say it's like, at the grocery store checkout, it's like, yeah, thank you, Sarah. And people respond. There's like a real visceral response people have when their name is used.
Mm-hmm.
So I offer that out in conjunction with those other ideas.
A lot of what I'm hearing so far kind of reminds me of someone called the Hugging Saint. And her gift was that whenever she gave someone a hug, she just put so much love into it that they just felt it. And that was her thing. And she's become famous because of it. And because of that fame, because of the energy that she puts into it, people, I'm guessing, I don't know this for a fact because I haven't done the research, but my guess is people will pay her to come to certain events to be part of the event. And so that's something that could be, not necessarily has to be, but could be turned into kind of a business. As a close example to that, does anyone know who Brendan Bouchard is? Okay, I got one yes. He's someone who has been in what we would call like the personal development space. And his thing is that he had a near-death experience. He was in a car crash. And when he came out of it, he had these 3 questions in his mind that made life so clear. And I don't remember what the 3 questions were. And right now it doesn't even matter what those 3 questions were. But he had a message that he wanted to share with the world. And like I said, each and every one of you has some bit of information, some message that you could share with the world. And what Brendan Bouchard does, he started giving talks where he was telling his story, where he talked about the 3 questions and what it means to us and how we can use these 3 questions to improve our lives. And so he became a public speaker, sharing his message over and over and over again, and people paid him to tell his story. And eventually he went around and told that story so many different times that he had enough experience in how to be a public speaker that he started teaching people how to be a public speaker. And then he started teaching people how to run a business. And then he started teaching people about how to do the things that he had already done for himself. But it all started with a simple message that people resonated with. And when you have a simple message that people can resonate with, and you are comfortable sharing that story with an audience, that by itself can be the foundation for being of service to the world on a larger scale.
Lori, did you have something you wanted to share?
I have a silly, excuse me, I have a silly question. So, sorry, allergy season. So, sorry again. Like for 12 years now, I have been sending, I've been working on A Course in Miracles and sending out the daily lessons to people. And quite frequently, I have had people want to donate money to me. And I have always said, no, it is free, it is no charge. And I was just wondering, I was listening to what you were saying, and I was thinking, I don't know. One of the things I would like to do is set the whole thing up as a website. And then I can just stop sending my over 200 emails every day that I send out. I don't know.
Yeah, the emails can be automated, so that's easy. But going back to the donations part of it, with Linda's band, there have been quite a number of times when people in the audience have wanted to come up and offer a tip to the band. And Cindy, who happens to be the main organizer for the band, she's one of the original band members. She feels uncomfortable accepting tips. And she says, no tips, no tips. We're paid to be here. And it's like the venue pays the band to be there, but then the audience wants to offer them a tip. And we've had this conversation with Cindy a number of times, is that whenever she denies the other person the opportunity to give, she's basically throwing wet, cold water on them and dousing their enthusiasm and basically saying, no, we're not worth it. Allowing another person an opportunity to give is itself a gift. You give someone that opportunity to express themselves in the way that they would like to express themselves. So I would say if someone wants to donate something to you, accept it graciously, say there's no need for it, but I do appreciate the thought that's coming behind this, and I thank you for that.
Thank you.
Ellen, couldn't you put a large glass bowl on the stage? And if somebody wants to put money in there, I mean, don't ask for it.
Right. Yeah, we could put something up there. In fact, a lot of times, Kristen, which is one of the lead singers in the front of the stage, she has this box of accessories that are used through the show. And quite often someone will come up and just put money in her box. But yeah, it could happen. The thing is we still have to continue working on Cindy to make that okay with her.
Well, can't you take a vote? Or is she the head cheese?
Well, it could probably go either way, but right now nobody feels strongly enough to make it an issue.
Well, I think your main argument is what you just said. It devalues that person when you don't allow them to do that because they want to do it. You know,
right. You frustrate them. You say, I know you want to do this, but you can't do this.
Yeah.
Their
You
way
can
of
also
feeling.
approach Cindy by saying, whatever tips we get can go into an account for musical repair. I mean, you've got expenses, correct?
Yeah,
I mean,
and we've offered those ideas as well. Yep.
Yeah.
But
and
we'll
Lori
keep working
too.
on her.
Lori, you do what you do because you love doing it and you don't feel like you need tips, but like you could turn around and donate that to another organization if that's how you feel. So,
yep.
Yeah, and also if I do finally get around to starting a website, which I actually don't really know how to do, you have to pay for that. I mean, that has to be paid for. And I was thinking, yeah, that probably would be the ideal time to ask people to donate, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. And as far as setting up a website, that's one of the services that I am starting to offer. So if you'd like to talk about it, we can. It's completely up to you. One other idea that struck me while you were talking about what you're doing as far as emails. There was a series of emails that I wrote back in, I think it was 2018, that I ended up calling 30 Days to Divine Power, because it was an email sequence that ran every day for 30 days. And it started off at a very basic level. It's like, day one, your job for today is to take the day off and get some rest. Day two, find one thing to appreciate in your day. Day three, just one step beyond that, and then one step throughout the 30 days until at the end of it, people can look at all of life and say, yes, everything is great. Everything is wonderful. And of course, that's a big stretch to try to do it all at once, which is why it was split up into 30 days. But the way that I presented that to my audience, I said, okay, this is a paid product, but you don't pay for it until after You don't pay for it until after it's done, and you get to decide how much it's worth. And what was interesting is after it was all said and done, at the end of the sequence, there was an email that goes out that says, okay, now that you've experienced the full 30 days, you get to decide whether it was worth anything or not, and if so, how much. And you can donate any amount of money you'd like. I think I made $5 as a minimum. It's like, if you don't think it's worth $5, don't bother donating. It's okay. There's no obligation. And I said, you can donate any amount you want. It can be $5, $50. I mean, if you really want to donate 500, hey, that's okay too. And what was amazing to me was that because this is just email, and a lot of us think just email, it's just an email. Emails are easy, emails are quick, emails are free. You get so many of them. And it was something that they had already experienced. They had absolutely no obligation to pay for it. What was amazing to me is not only did I have about 12% of the people who went through it that actually did pay for it, but the average payment was about $40. In fact, I had 2 people that paid me $150 for 30 emails they'd already received. It's like, wow, that actually worked pretty good.
That's some good manifestation there, Alan.
So if you are giving good value and people see the value in what you're giving, a number of them, a certain percentage of them, do want to reciprocate and give you something in return. And in the case of email, okay, this is one of those things about business. In the case of email, most businesses who have an email list, they offer something for free in exchange for your name and email address. So they do get something in exchange for that free gift that they give you.
So I have a question for you, Alan. You mentioned that you're going to come to the Coptic picnic. Are you going to bring that tuna salad or deviled eggs?
I can. Yeah, I can do that. The deviled eggs
I'm
would probably
kidding,
be the
but
most
hey.
appropriate. You know what? I have quite a number of times anyway. So yeah, that's easy to do.
Well, if you can
Anything is fine. It doesn't matter.
manifest an ice box, how about bringing some of that homemade ice cream?
You know,
that you
I've
used
been
to make
thinking
at the
about
Coptic
making some
Center?
again. It's been a little while since we've made any. So
Oh,
yeah,
it's so
that's
good.
definite possibility too.
Are
Let's
there
see,
any
what's the
other
weather supposed
comments?
to be like that day? How warm is it supposed to be?
Hot.
Um, is it
Anything
this
else?
Saturday?
Anybody?
My phone says 97 degrees for Saturday.
Oh,
So it looks like ice cream is the most appropriate thing.
If you can keep it ice creamy and not soupy.
I just want to say that I thought Alan's talk was excellent, as was his introducer. And unfortunately, I can't go to the picnic. I have to work that day. But it's just nice to see the faces online today.
nice to see your face.
So I would like to close with the Coptic prayer. And I don't know how to screen share and everything, but if I hold this up, can you all read it or is it backwards?
I will spotlight you
Too
to make it
small.
full screen.
And then you'll have to
Only read half
freeze it
of
as
it.
you go.
Pull it
It's
away a
bad.
little bit.
It's backwards.
No,
it's
it's
No,
right.
it's forward.
It's
hopefully you
fine.
know it.
It's forward.
Or we could just read it. Enough of us know it.
Yeah.
It's good as you have it.
Yeah, I can read it.
Glasses.
I can read it. You can
Put my
hold it and I'll
glasses
read it.
on.
Okay. I got to try and hold it still.
Okay.
Here.
Heavenly Father, make my
Make
heart
my-
present
thy garden
my
of
heart
joy
my
and happiness.
garden
Yeah.
of joy and happiness.
thy temple of peace,
Temple of peace. May
May
the radiant
light
light
of your
your
spirit
spirit illuminate
illuminate the pathway of my
way
life,
of my life,
uniting my soul and mind
and mind
into one thought of
thought
love. May the
May
perception of such
of
enlightenment
each such enlightenment
guide me
guide me in the
guide me in
fulfillment
the fulfillment
of my
of
thoughts
my
and
thoughts
desires.
and desires.
desires.
May
May
the fragrance of thy
fragrance of
presence
thy
Presence
be ever manifested in my life.
manifested in my life. Peace,
Peace, peace,
peace,
peace.
peace.
Nice.
Very good. So,
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Janice. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
yes, was a very nice evening. And that's one of the things that we love about the Coptic is we're informal and it is like a family. So I wish you all the best. Hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful weekend here.
Yep.
Enjoy your
Bye-bye.
picnic.
Good night, everyone.
Night.